With the water levels very high in the rivers, it's back to a small boat, and we'll see if we can find anything. Magic of float disappearing and striking into a fish. It is really hard to compare to anything else, as long as the lower fishing is absolutely fantastic, as well as fly fishing. The float will always have that magic of a first fish. We have a first proper run of the day. See the float dancing around and kiting to the left. As much as the lure and fly fishing is fantastic, just seeing that float sail away, amazing. Okay, let's hit it. That's not bad. That's nice. As you can tell, I've dusted off my little Porta Bote that didn't see much of a light for a good part of the last 2 years. With the new boat. Oh, that's a strong fish. That's a strong fish. I have an anchor line here. I don't want it to go into the anchor. And I think it might have went to anchor. Oh. Okay, we need to... No, it went into anchor, I think. Bollocks. That's a messy situation we have here. Can I get it out of there? Okay, Jesus, sorry, my camera fell. I was a mess. The fish went straight into my anchor rope, but fortunately I've managed to get it back out, and I think, it's a, oh, that's a nice fish. That's a nice fish. Okay. Small boat, big fish. That's a lovely big pike. And she's in the net. That was messy, but I'm absolutely chuffed with that fish. That's a nice pike. That's a lovely, fantastic pike. As you can see, we're back behind the floats. I haven't done it for 2 years, and I haven't used this little boat for a good while. But here it is. The water is very cold, only 4 degrees, and I fancy the change, and I fancy the little system instead of a big boat and a big waters, and maybe sit quietly behind a few floats. And here it is, not long after arriving into the spot. We got the nice fish. Let's weigh in the fish. She's lovely looking, might be a 20. So the sling is wet. I've zeroed and taken the weight of the sling off. $22.10. Let's have a look at it, and we'll be letting her go to where she came from. 22 pounds, 10 ounces. Oh. 22 pounds, 10 ounces. As good as it gets, isn't it? I'm sorry, it's a bit messy to be on a small boat like that. Okay, let's see, how did this float got there in the first place? Okay, I think I might have found a culprit. Hopefully I didn't see the float gone, and hopefully the hooks aren't too bad. I see one, unfortunately I don't see the other one. Okay, let's see if we can deal with that. Okay, if a hook goes deep like that, firstly we need to pull it out a little bit. Don't apply any force, really, just gently pull. The stomach will pop up a little bit, just enough so you can see the hook. So we'll try to twist the hook, release one treble, there you go. The one treble is gone. Now with the hooks being barbless, it will be very easy to get the other two hooks out. Here you go, that's one. And that's the last one. Now that stomach, as you can see, is retracting right away, so as long as you didn't pull it hard, the fish will be perfectly fine. A little bit of blood, not too bad. There you go. Okay, so two learnings out of this situation just now. Firstly, use barbless hooks. I'm using semi-barbless, as in the one of the three hooks is barbed, the one that goes into the bite. The other two are barbless, so use semi-barbless or fully barbless if you can. And the second thing, never leave it for too long before striking into a pike on a take. The beliefs are you should let it go and so on and so forth. Oh, it is a take. You should let it go. No, it's not. I'm not sure. Oh, I think it is. Okay, let me just take that and I'll talk to you in a second. Don't leave it for too long. The pike has it already. Just hit it. There you go. It's on. In the Porta Bote with the flexible deck, it's better to actually be fighting fish while kneeling. It's not a big fish, but it's the third pike to the boat. There it is. The one treble is outside, the other one will be just in the mouth. There you go. One hook outside. The other hook should be just inside the mouth. There you go. There it is. Okay, if pike has clenched their teeth, the way to deal with that is put it on the back, in between the legs, gently pull them out and it will open it just like so. Securing it with the legs can really do hurt to itself or to you. And here it is. Off you go, little guy. Whoa. Thank you. Okay, so while I have this opportunity, just to show you the trace again, to what I was saying, barbless hooks. This one here is barbed. This one goes into the lure, or so into the bait. The other one, there is only one barbed on this side. This one goes here. This one and this one are debarbed, barbless. And you can see I have a little tiny cable tie just at the root of a bait. It helps it with casting of a soft baits like this smelt, and also allows me in that case to cast it out again and hopefully catch another pike on the same bait. Just one thing, don't discard it and throw it in the water. Take it all back home with you. So I was saying, barbless hooks, and don't let it run for too long. I only give it really few seconds. As soon as it has the bite in the mouth, it has its bite in the mouth. There are theories that you wait for the fish to start turning it and start swallowing it, but to me that's only a danger. I'd rather lose the fish and not have it deeply hooked. But as long and as hard as you will be trying not to deep hook fish, the other one will get deep hook, and that's how you deal with it. So hopefully that was of help, and if that video gives any value, you might consider sticking around by subscribing and maybe giving the like. And while you do so, let's see if we can catch another one. In terms of the rig, it's a simple float rig, 80-pound braid. There is a visual stopper on the line. Down there I have a small bit, and then I have a bigger bit before I have the float. That is to prevent them from going over the knot. Going into the business end, there is a weight that goes into a trace. That's the titanium trace that doesn't kink or anything. It's very expensive but extremely good. Then I use tracelets, so it doesn't go straight through because it's just expensive and it's not worth it. I have a tracelets from a cheaper material that just hook in with this Gemini clip just like so, and then a sleeve goes over it. 2 hooks, size usually 6 for me. Semi-barbless, as I said, only the hook that goes into the bite has a barb on it. And one more thing, 2-3 foot away from the trace and the main weight, I have this little carb sinker that pins the role of it is to pin the line, the braid, to the bottom and move it as far away from the pike's teeth as possible, just to make sure it doesn't bite through the line. You can use that solution as long as it's on the bottom, or you can use up trace, but make sure you just don't use the line straight through because it's prone there. You might get a situation where it gets bite through a pike teeth. The reason for me to prefer this than the up trace is that sometimes I fish as shallow as half a meter or 60 centimeters just above the trace when I want to drift lures over shallow areas, and with a long up trace I cannot do it, whereas in that case I slide it down, the float goes down and it's next to a trace. In the meantime, when I was telling you about the trace and casting out that rod, this one went. That's a very nice fish. Not as big as the other one, but a beautiful fish nonetheless. There you go. With a munched up smelt sticking out its mouth. Okay, Let's see if we can invite him for a quick photo. Oh. No, not quite yet. I thought she was ready. Oh, big. It's a nice fish. Okay, there you go. There you go. On the back, open its mouth. Get your hooks back, and if they are barbless, it will be very easy. Oh, sorry, such a busy session. Such a busy session. I hardly have a time to do anything, but I won't be complaining. I won't be complaining. Not when you catch a fish like that. After the previous one, this will be probably about 16 pounds, I'd say 15-16 pounds. Very nice, over a meter fish. Not much, maybe 2-3 centimeters over a meter. Beautiful pike. And she's going back now. Under the boat. Nice. I think we have another take. Can see the float. There you go. There you go. There's another fish. Oh. Not big, but very tasty. Now, if you do need to change the trace, like I do in that case, because one of the hooks is gone, you just put the sleeve up, unhook it, just like so. That's a tracelet that is no longer needed, but at least you're not discarding the entire expensive titanium 7-strand wire or 49-strand wire. Then we just need to get a new tracelet, and depending on the situations, I have different type of tracelets. There's one with a single hook here, there is a longer one, and then in one of the boxes I have other types of tracelets with different hook sizes. But I think what we'll do, we'll put this circle single hook, and we'll see how that works for us. So it's as simple as put back on through this clip, pull the sleeve, here you go, fresh, ready to go tracelet and trace. Put some fresh bait on it. And we'll cast it out. I think that float is going there. Okay, let's hit it right away. Not a big fish, but we've just changed a spot. after catching some 6 pike in the first spot, just rode around, trying to be stealthy and quiet, rode around into a new spot, nice point where shallow turns into a deeper water, and it only took 10 minutes in the new spot, maybe 5-10 years more, and we'll come back for it. See a tail? Probably had some nick from a bigger fish. See you later. Looks like we have another culprit. On the single hook, I forgot I shouldn't be actually striking on a single hook. I should be just tightening. Not a big fish, but feisty again. Let's see that hook hold of a single hook. Just in the corner of the mouth. Okay, here you go. That's a single hook, and that's the pike hooked just in the corner there. No hooks inside the mouth. Very nice, very nice. Okay, we'll let this guy go. Nice.
You're not welcome here. This is private property.
Hi. I'm not on your property.
Get the fuck out of here, I'm telling you. This is my property.
Sorry, I haven't gone through your land, sir.
This is my property. Get the fuck out of here.
I haven't went anywhere near your land, sir.
You'll fucking go in a few minutes.
You've seen the situation. I think you've heard the situation. A farmer came down and he wasn't overly pleased with me fishing here. The thing is, the water is a state-owned water, and the fishing rights are also state-owned fishing rights. So the farmer owns the land, or that part of the land there, adjacent to the water, but not the water itself. So I have every right to be here, and I politely said that I didn't go anywhere near his land. But the problem is, obviously, and that's kind of very common in Ireland, so I just like to take this opportunity to make a little bit of a small appeal that, you know, if you are going fishing, just make sure you never leave any trash. You behave yourself always, you know, be quiet around houses. Just the usual kind of a common sense, because this farmer must have had some very bad experiences and very poor experiences. And that's how he was so cross when he saw me on the water, even though I wasn't on his land. And I do have the way I access this water, I do have permission from the owner of the land to actually access the water, so I've checked, I have every right to be here. I didn't cross any land without permission, but it just shows, and it isn't the first time. It happened to me a few times, as in access got lost and signs got erected. People do tend to ask me where do I fish, and I never say where I fish, and that's actually one of the reasons. You've heard the situation. A farmer came down, he was very cross, he was very angry, he didn't want to see me here, he wanted me gone, even though, you know, the water is state-owned and the fishing rights are state-owned. I have every right to be on the water. I haven't crossed his land. The way I've accessed this water was through another land with a permission of the farmer I obtained myself from that farmer. So I have every right to be here. I'll be fishing, but it's sad to see that this farmer must have had such a bad experiences to be so cross with me, and that happens a lot. That's why if you have spots, if you just keep them to yourself for fish protection and for spot protection, but also to be fair towards farmers. And sometimes, you know, there are trash left, there are hooks left, there is a noise, and if you leave hooks or maybe a can of their corn or can after beer or whatever it might be, like a cattle might come down and they might cut themselves. There might be a damage that you're not thinking of, and it's just in general, you know, that's how the spots get lost. That's how paths get locked and signs erected and farmers get cross. So we just need to be respectful towards the nature, towards the owners of the land. They give us the permission to access the water, and to access public water most of the time you need to go through a private land. So that's how it works, and we need to be respectful, never leave any trash, behave ourselves, and hopefully we won't need to be dealing with a situation like that. Time for packing up, but while I do it, I've just casted the rod into a margin. You never know, and it needs most type of a rod rest. Other than the angry farmer action, there was no more action. So it's time to pack up. I still have my that was gas and the true spirit on the last cast. I said I was having floats in the water while I was packing away my Porta Bote, and as I was saying this, I've heard this real screaming. That was madness. In the true form of a last cast of a day, I got to a place where I launched. I started putting away my Porta Bote, was in the process of putting away everything, just had the rods casted as you do, and the next thing is I hear that the reel absolutely screaming, and this lovely fish, very well conditioned pike, maybe about 10-11 pounds, just to finish off the day. As good as it gets, even though I got almost high dip with my left foot trying to land that fish. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. If you did, stick around. I'll see you at the next one, and I let this one go. That's the way to end it.